I showed up 3 minutes early, not out of politeness, but to assess the field. High places have a way of making people feel invincible. Rooftop lounges crafted like temples for the self-appointed elite, and he always enjoyed pretending he ruled over one. The host glanced at the list, hesitated, then offered a polite but strained smile. "There's no booking under your name." Of course not. I already knew. I scanned the rooftop, eyes locking on them. My wife, her father, 2 seats filled, wine glasses half empty. 1 chair left open, reserved intentionally. Her gaze caught mine. There was no affection in it, no remorse either, just startled surprise. She hadn't expected me to come. He noticed me too. His lips curled into something smug as he raised his voice for the surrounding tables. "A dive bar would suit you better." His words rode the breeze across polished marble and clinking glass. I didn't react, just met his gaze, calm and unwavering. Then I turned to the host. "I'd like a word with the owner." That wiped the smirk off his face for a second. The owner was my uncle. That detail changed the entire equation. But this evening had begun long before this moment. 2 months earlier, something in our home had shifted. A quiet tension had crept in, the kind that was too rehearsed to be accidental. Smiles replaced with civility, touch replaced with distance. She stopped waiting for me to come home, stopped laughing altogether. I convinced myself it was work stress. Maybe her father's declining health, but he wasn't sick, and she wasn't tired. The gap between us hadn't just opened. It had been constructed, deliberately, carefully, brick by brick, by someone who wanted me shut out. He'd always looked down on me, said I wasn't good enough, too quiet, too methodical. I once overheard him tell her, loud enough for my benefit, "Marrying him is like choosing a calculator over a heartbeat." Maybe that was his entire scheme, to paint me as emotionally vacant, someone incapable of passion, someone unworthy. But he misjudged one thing. I felt it all, deeply, especially the night I came home early and saw her phone left unattended, unlocked. Their messages weren't just dinner plans or family catch-ups. They were calculated, veiled manipulation masquerading as concern. "He's so cold lately, Daddy. That's what I've been telling you. You deserve more than indifference." Maybe you're right. She wasn't just drifting, she was being steered. I didn't confront her. Confrontation is loud and clumsy, predictable. So I watched, listened, acted like I knew nothing. Meanwhile, I began assembling a picture. Every dinner she claimed was work-related. He conveniently attended. Every new password, every shift in mood, all matched his influence. I installed forensic software, recovered deleted conversations, voicemails, data fragments. Then I struck gold. One message from him to her. He doesn't belong in our world. One dinner. Just us. Let him see the boundary. It wasn't a meal, it was a trap. A stage set for quiet humiliation under the guise of family bonding. And she agreed. Okay, maybe it's time. She didn't love me anymore. That truth hurt. But what cut deeper was the loyalty she gave to him instead of me. I could have left then, walked out and never looked back. But I didn't want to escape. I wanted clarity, and something more potent than closure. So I dug deeper, checked the ownership records of his firm, hired a private investigator to revisit an old whisper, something about tax fraud from his early ventures. Then I visited my uncle, the same man who owned the rooftop lounge where tonight's spectacle was unfolding. When I left that meeting, I held 2 things: access to the evening's guest list and the identity of a woman he quietly paid alimony to every month. I never told her I was coming. I just arrived, watched their expressions twist from confidence to alarm. She leaned toward him, whispered something. His complexion drained for a brief second before he reassembled his fake charm. "What are you doing here?" she asked, barely above a whisper, voice thin and trembling. I kept my tone light, just needed a drink. Then I pulled out a slim black folder. "Since you're curious." I passed it to her. Inside, printouts of their texts, time-stamped summaries, connections between his accounts and the hidden woman. Photographs. At the very bottom, a notarized letter from the lounge owner, confirming tonight's reservation. 2 guests only. Her hands shook as she flipped the pages. His jaw locked tight. "I wanted you both to see the table," I said softly, "and understand the price of arranging it." He tried to respond. I raised a hand to silence him. No need for more lies. He turned to her, searching her face for some rescue. She looked back at me, vacant, broken. Neither of them found the words. They didn't exist. A waiter approached with a single wine glass. "Compliments of the owner," he said. I lifted it, offered a silent toast, then placed a sealed envelope in front of him. Inside, a fully verified, anonymous tip to the IRS. Every detail laid out. The first thread in the unraveling of his empire. He parted his lips to speak. I stood before he could. I turned to her. "There's a truth you buried," I said. "I never craved love. I craved honesty." Her eyes welled up, not with sorrow, but with realization. Far too late. To him, I left only this. Real gods don't pick high places. They build them. And this one? I started laying the foundation months ago. He glanced back down at the folder like it might detonate. It already had. I walked past the velvet ropes, the day's host, and into the elevator's cold hush. Behind me, their constructed world began to disintegrate. Not with chaos, but in quiet devastation. No screaming, no scenes, just a silent unraveling of deceit. As the elevator descended, my pulse stayed steady. In the lobby, I stepped into the night. A flickering street lamp above cast a tired glow, like a truth too old to hide. I didn't glance back. I didn't need to, because the highest table wasn't the one at the top. It was the one I flipped without ever raising my voice.